impact on us. Secondly, we need to seek greater knowledge about Islam as a whole, about Allah, to know who He is correctly, to remove from our hearts any misunderstandings, any misgivings, any false knowledge, any false information. We need to seek knowledge, as the Prophet ﷺ said, طَلَبُ الْعِلْمِ فَرِيضَ عَلَى كُلِّ Muslim. Seeking knowledge is compulsory for every Muslim. Primarily, knowledge of Allah, of the Creator of this universe. Know who He is. Accept Him in your hearts. Because if you don't accept Him in your hearts, and you only speak about Him with your lips and your tongues, then we will not benefit from anything that we have gained, whether it be knowledge or in any form of information that we manage to acquire. It will only be for show or to fulfill some rituals, etc., but it will not be beneficial to us according to Iman, according to our hearts. It will not raise the level of our Iman. And this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, in the 35th chapter, that's Surah Al-Fatir, verse 28, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Indeed, of Allah's servants, it is the scholars who truly fear Him. Indeed, of Allah's servants, it is the scholars, the knowledgeable ones, people of knowledge who fear Him. Even those who belong to other systems, who are scientists, etc., you find that science leads them ultimately to recognize Allah. Because their knowledge of the stars, their knowledge of the earth, of biology, etc., it leads them in their heart of hearts to recognize and to accept Allah. The third principle that we need to develop is to remember Allah regularly. What we refer to as dhikrullah. To remember Allah often. As He said in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 41, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ ذِكْرًا كَثِيرًا. O you who believe, remember Allah often. Remember Allah often. The Prophet ﷺ, on one occasion when a man complained to him that the duties of Islam were too much for him, the Prophet ﷺ told him, keep your tongue moist with the remembrance of Allah. And as we mentioned earlier in the previous lecture about the quest for inner peace, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنَّ الْقُلُوبُ. It is only with the remembrance of Allah that hearts can find rest. So if our faith is to increase, it has to increase with a sense within ourselves of peace. We have to have inner peace, peace within ourselves, for that faith, that Iman to grow. So remembrance of Allah, we have to come to. We have to commit ourselves to. It is the purpose of prayer, it's the purpose of fasting, it's the purpose of giving zakah or charity. It's the purpose of Hajj. Islam is about remembrance of Allah. So we have to keep that focus there. Remembrance of Allah. Remember, there's a goal behind Salah. It's not the Salah, the prayer itself is a means. It's not an end. What happens to us is that we may turn it into an end, so we do it, it's over, okay, fine, let me get on to my business. We're not thinking that it is a means to an end. The end being remembrance of Allah.
The Prophet ﷺ preached La ilaha illallah. And many are the miracles that he has been given. Really, we can talk hours and hours about the number of miracles. They don't number in the hundreds, they number in the thousands. But his greatest miracle was the miracle of the Quran. Whoever used to worship Allah Azza wa Jal, then Allah is Al-Hayy, the ever-living.